Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Rosa Maria. Today's tutorial we're going to learn how to make this quick, easy, cute drawstring bag that is made out of fabric. And this project is great for beginners, and also you can make this in different sizes to your preference, and also is a great gift to share with others. So let's get started on this tutorial. Materials needed for this project is some sewing pins, a sewing gauge, a pair of scissors, and also a cotton fabric of your choice and cotton core rope. You want to cut out 2 pieces of fabric. Mine measures 16 inches by 10 inches. And once you finish cutting out the fabric to your preference of size, make sure that you take your iron and you press out all the creases to make sure the fabric is nice and smooth. Now, I'm going to take one of my fabric and I'm going to take my sewing gauge and I'm going to fold 1/4 of the top of the fabric. I'm going to put the printed side down and I'm gonna fold it. You don't need to use a sewing gauge, but if you feel comfortable, like with me, I like to use it because it'll give me a nice exact measurement that I need for the top here. Okay, nicely. I have my 1/4 and I'm just going to gently press. I'm taking the second piece of fabric and I'm going to face the printed side down. Again, I'm going to fold it 1/4. Use my sewing gauge here to assist me. Now that I finish making a fold for both of the fabric here, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we are going to top stitch the top here, right over here on top, as close as possible. I'm going to lower my needle, and again I am making sure that I am as close as possible to the top of the fabric here. And let me start stitching. Back stitch to secure the thread. Coming to the end here, just make sure. Okay, back stitch, and now I'm going to sew the second fabric. Let me just get my thread up, and let me center. Get this ready. Okay, right here on top. Back stitch. You do your own pace if you prefer. We're coming to the end. And now I am going to back stitch. So I want to show you as close as I can in the camera. This is how it should look. We finished top stitching both of the fabric. Now the next step is I am going to fold it, but this time 1 inch fold. And take my iron. Just doing a little checking to make sure. And I'm going to take the next piece of fabric, do the same thing, fold it for 1 inch. Measure that I have 1 inch here, fold. Okay. Now that I finish making 1 inch fold for each, but now we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we are going to stitch as close as possible over the first stitch that we made on the both of the fabric. So let's take it to the sewing machine. At the sewing machine, we're going to start to sew, but I'm going to make sure that now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this piece of fabric and I'm going to have the pattern print facing up, and I'm going to face the second piece of fabric on top. So I'm making sure that both printed sides are facing each other, and I'm going to take my sewing pins, because when we take it to the sewing machine we are going to sew all the way down, make a turn here at the bottom, sew it, and then come back sewing. So we're going to make sure that this area here, as I'm pinning, we do not stitch it. We just leave that opening. Let me just continue to place the pins. Let me just do it this way, it makes it easier for me. And again, as I mentioned, make sure we're going to start over here and work our way all the way down to the corner here. Make a turn, continue sewing, make another turn and sew up and stop right over here. So let's go and take it to the sewing machine to start stitching. We finished stitching. Now I'm going to take my pair of scissors and we are going to trim the corner of the fabric. Make sure that you don't trim off the thread. And I'm going to turn the fabric inside out. And I'm going to use my fingers to poke out the corners. Now I'm going to take my iron and iron the fabric. We have completed our drawstring fabric bag. If you liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, you can click on the red subscribe button. And also there is a bell. If you click on the bell, YouTube will notify you every time I upload a new video. And also I wanted to mention in the description below, I listed all the materials and tools needed and also where you can purchase them. So hopefully I see you next time. Bye.